I grew up in Luton, so there's a lot of mixed diversity there. And naively, I don't think I always noticed. I didn't notice that I was always black, if that makes sense at all. I was definitely taught it by my parents, and I think I rebelled it a little bit, like, no, we're all the same. I don't get treated differently. And I feel like I felt that growing up, because where I grew up, there was such a mixed bag of people. But then when I grew up and started to see the world through an adult lens and adult eyes, I could definitely see that some of the positions I was in before was definitely tokenism, and that it was feeling like by putting me there, I was, that they were doing their best, you know, and they weren't, and it's not good enough. So I've definitely felt that, definitely.
What it does to you when you are the only black person in a space is that it means that you're almost doing two things. You're being present in the space, but you're also assessing everything that's happening. And it's like you're having a running commentary, you know, in your head, as well as kind of like going, did I hear that right? Did they mean that? Was that slightly racist? Was that misogynistic? Was that, you know, there's so many things that are constantly, and because you're the only person, you're then thinking, oh, do I fight that battle? Do I let it go? Do I get on with my job? You know, why am I here? Why do they really want me here? You know what I mean? You know why you're here, your job. But it's like, why are you really here sometimes? Because I know sometimes I've been the only black person in the space because they need to tick the box so that ACE, Arts Council England, gives them some money. I mean, that's been obvious to me and other people for a long time when I was an actor.
I feel that I have been used and exploited as a black man. No, exploited, yeah, as a black man for my blackness. Yeah, I've kind of been in, there are certain times you're like, am I just here because of diversity and you needed someone black in this role? I think this is true.
I'm a dancer. So I'm used to being in dance spaces, in dance companies, in shows in which I am the only one. Because particularly in the commercial sector, the West End sector, even contemporary dance, actually all dance, what am I talking about? There seems to be a cap on the number of people who can be in the space who are not white. You know, we can't have too many, because then it turns into like an Asian company.
I feel like, yeah, you're slightly on guard and non-threatening, which are crazy. They kind of juxtapose each other. Because you're just carefully making sure that you can just go through unscathed.
I think I first thought I was there because I was there to tick a box. In all honesty, I was like, I don't think I believed I was good enough to be at this drama school. So that meant that I was like, well, let me just do as much as I can before they figure out that I'm not very good and they get rid of me. Because I thought, well, I'm only here because I'm black and, you know, I'm a woman. I'm female. So I just thought, well, yeah, let me just make the most of this while I can. Because no one around these parts are like me.
You're just trying to get through, get by. I feel like I've been kind of coached into it though, just by going to going to RADA and knowing what that environment and being around people who are stupidly rich, who are usually white, just going, oh yeah, you know, maybe you and your act friends could, you know, come and do the play in my garden.
I remember an incident at drama school where somebody asked me, me and another fellow student, do we ever think we are on this course because of the colour of our skin? A student felt comfortable to ask us that. And where that comes from is kind of what I'm trying to say, is that we constantly have to prove we deserve to be there, not just because of our talent, but because we are of colour or because we are black.
But do you see the lie though? You see, that's how they get you. They make you believe that the cognitive dissonance of believing that you believe that this is not your space and that you don't deserve to be there. So, and then you start to move through the space like that. So that's what I started to do. I kind of was like just avoiding things.
I'm now here. I'm now a token. What change can I make? What do I have to say? Who do I have to talk to? Is there anything I can say? Do I feel like I'm in a position to say it? But tokenism is real. It's really real. And that really has got to stop. I'm not saying by putting one black actor in a show is necessarily always tokenism, but there's a lot of the times it is. And it's about like filling a quota.
I was one of those jammy people at drama school who got a job before they graduated. So I got to leave early, a term early. And someone said to me that you're getting a job because you're black. This was years ago, so this wasn't even, you know, there wasn't even a renaissance of black work happening at that time, but I was being told that I was getting this opportunity because I'm black. And then the same token, when black people are talking about why are there no more opportunities for black people to do stuff, you then hear, well, it's all about meritocracy and it's all about talent. So you're kind of going, so there's this sort of thing that is being told to you that when you do get successful, it's because you're black, and when you don't get something, it's because you're not talented enough. And enough of those kinds of, that stuff is being said in many different ways, and not even overtly said, but demonstrated, you just start to internalize it.
And even growing up in Essex, where, you know, there's areas where they are quite diverse. I was lucky I went to a primary school which was very diverse in Essex, and went to a secondary school where there were less of us. But again, I never felt like, you know, I shouldn't be here, or, you know, because that's how I've been brought up. Like, you walk in and you own the space. You're there. You're there on your craft. You're there. You're an important person. It wasn't only until I went into the industry that I realised it was a real thing. So I went to a college, again, it was a performing arts college. So even there, I didn't feel that way. It wasn't until I went to an institution where I was really a minority, where that imposter feeling came in.
So I'm not going to lie, I am constantly battling the feeling that I'm just ticking a box. Yeah, it doesn't sit in the forefront of my brain, but it's there mingling in the background. It gives enough static and noise every now and then for doubt to creep in about my ability and my skills. I feel like, particularly now, with the push for equality and diversity and inclusivity, that if I'm in a space, it's only because I'm a black artist. That's really sad, isn't it? It's sad to think that the years of work, the years of hard graft, the years of experience in my toolkit is not enough for me to feel like I deserve a place at the table, that there's still an inkling of doubt that I'm there to tick the equality, diversity, inclusivity box.
Acting is hard enough as it is, and you know, we all want to work. We all want to be able to pay our bills. But the flip side of it is also, you absolutely don't want to go into a job and feel like a token. You don't want to go into a job and feel that you've only gotten the job because of the color of your skin.
And I know that's not always the case. And I know maybe sometimes it is the case initially. And I don't even know what to say about it. Other than I know that I can imagine my non-black counterparts don't have the same background noise in their brain about why they've been given the opportunity that they have been given. There's no doubt, you know? They don't think, oh, maybe it was given to me because I have brown hair. You know what I mean? They just don't think that. It doesn't cross their mind.
It makes me feel like, am I here because you needed to fulfill a quota, or am I here because you wanted me? am I the right person for the job, or is it just because you needed to make space for that?
I got nominated for 2 BAFTAs, and the first thing I thought was, I wonder if this is the black year, and I'm caught up in the black year for black people to be successful. And I had to have a word with myself. In fact, my agent had to have a word with me. My white female agent had to sit me down and be like, no, you deserve this because X, Y, and Z. And so you constantly are at that battle of, do I deserve this? Am I here because of some tokenism thing? And it's sad. It's sad because a lot of black people who are doing well right now are freaking amazing. And there should be no question and no doubt that they are being successful and doing well because they've worked so blooming hard.
What I want people to know about being a black performer in this industry is that when you have conversations, when people have conversations about black performers, like we have lots of opportunity because there are black shows, or they only got that because they were black, or they needed a tap dancer and they were the best black one, or those kinds of negative things that are attributed to a lot of black people, especially in musical theatre. I want you to know that that kind of rhetoric is only embarrassing for you, because that's not the truth. That isn't the case. I've worked damn hard to get here, and I got here, and I got this gig because of my skill set, and my skill set was aligned with what was needed. That's what I want you to know.
I have to be hopeful because I believe in myself and I'm part of the industry. So I can't solely rely on other people. All I can do is like be impactful myself, because that's the trick of like, they need to do this, they need to do that, and then you end up, and then they don't do that, and then you feel miserable. So it's like, what is the small thing I can do? I can be as vocal as possible. I can have really strong boundaries. I can pick jobs that will uplift myself and my community.
I've managed to be fortunate enough to work in environments where I've not been the only one, but there's been mixed ethnic people backstage, a good set of diversity, and I have loved it. Instantly, you walk in and you relax, you know, you just instantly feel comfortable. You just instantly feel like you can just breathe, you can talk however you want to, you can eat whatever you want, you can just be your true self, you know. I'm always my true self, but you don't get questioned. You know, I'll bring in food. Previously, if I'm the only one in the environment, I could bring in a type of dish and people are like, oh, what's that? What are you eating? Oh, that's a bit smelly, or blah, blah. I can take in my ackee and saltfish and no one say nothing to me when I'm in those environments. It's fine, you know? So it's so liberating.
Is the work already done? I mean, like a black British show in my generation being global, I don't think I've never heard of that before. Run by a black woman. That's never happened. That in my generation that I can recall. So I don't even know what that means. Like, what has the work already? It's just started. Like, this is the first black. I've never seen anything like that before. When it gets to a point where this is the norm and we're not chatting about it, that's when, like, okay, we're in the work. But when it's like, wow, there's loads of black actors nominated for BAFTAs, like, it should just be like the norm, like, of every race. Where, like, it shouldn't feel like novel or like a highlight or like, do you know what I mean? It shouldn't feel special. It should feel normal.
To all my black performers out there, I want you to know that all that rhetoric that people use, don't take it on. That isn't your message, that isn't your ministry, that isn't your narrative, that isn't your line. You've worked hard, you've got to this position, and you deserve it. Like, you really, 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 really deserve it. And you got it. Guys, we got this. And we're gonna make moves, and we're gonna do more, and we're gonna be successful, and we're gonna be impactful in this industry. And people are gonna realize once they use us exactly how we should be used, think about how limitless our opportunities are and how limitless art is going to be and how much more beautiful it can be.